Hello, friends. So, tonight I was unsure what to talk about. I just feel like making a video. I like it, I enjoy it. I enjoy talking about these kinds of things, even if it's just to a camera. And it's fine, dude. It is what it is right now, right? Okay. I wanted to talk about acceptance, I guess. Or not necessarily acceptance, but talk about judgment from others, right? I feel like it's such a big thing in today's society, is worrying about judgment from others. What are they going to think of me? What does that person think of me? What if I get rejected? And that's a big thing that pushes the external fulfillment, right? Like, I need the nice car, I need the trophy wife, I need the money to project this image of superiority, right? So I want to talk about that. For me, my whole entire life, as far back as I can remember, I've always been like pretty codependent. I've never been independent from somebody or something, right? So if I wasn't using drugs, I was in a relationship, or I was depending on someone to fulfill me and make me feel okay because I was lacking, right? I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. And it's just interesting to me because I never had self-efficacy, right? I never was able to just do what I wanted to do and be happy with that, right? Really odd. So I want to talk about that because every day I sit and I think to myself, and this has been like my next hurdle I've been trying to go over. So at work, I work at a water department, and what I do a lot is I change people's meters, which is like I have to turn their water off for 10 minutes. So I'll go and I'll knock on their door like a salesman, and I'll tell them, hey, I need to have your water off. These are the reasons why, right? And at first I just kind of did it because I had to. But lately I've been trying to kind of give it a salesy pitch. Just, I feel like I'd be good at that sort of thing. I feel like I'm capable of it. I just need to practice it. I need to get better at it. Just kind of controlling the pace of the conversation and, right, just being good in the conversation instead of what I normally would do is feel insecure or inferior, have self-doubt, overthink it, overanalyze the whole situation. So I've been practicing not to do that. And not just in that area. That's an area where I've been kind of pushing it and trying to excel that area of my life, but just in general, right? Like, I go to the gym alone right now. I have been for a couple weeks. The guy I normally go with is out of town, but like even that, like a couple years ago, I mean, I probably wouldn't have done that. Out of insecurity. I mean, I've had so much anxiety and things like that about just worrying about outside perceptions that I didn't want to leave my house, right? Just crazy things like that. And I just wonder, I think a lot of people, maybe not a lot, but I know there are people out there who struggle with that, right? And so I've been working on just dropping that and wondering like what life would be like if I dropped all the fear and insecurity and self-doubt, right? So that's been my next, right, like I said, my next hurdle, my next goal is to get over that. And I feel like the best way to do things like that is exposure, right? It's exposure therapy. You just have to get yourself out there, right? Like if you're afraid of getting girls' numbers, all you have to do is just start getting girls' numbers, right? And it just gets easier. You realize it's not that scary. She'll probably give you her number and she's not gonna say you're fucking ugly or something, right? So yeah, and another thing, the biggest reason why it bothers me though is because I've always been dependent upon other people's validation to tell me I'm okay, for me to feel okay, right? So if someone thought I were lying, or this is an example, there was one point in time that I was in a rehab, and they said I tested dirty for morphine, and I didn't take morphine, and I knew that. So I went there to try to clear my name and just kind of talk about it and say what the hell's going on, because it bothered me so fucking much that somebody thought or said that I took morphine and I didn't, but people didn't believe that or know that, right? And I never even got to the bottom of it, so I don't even know if I really did test dirty for it, but the fact that that bothered me so much is the problem, right? Like, I am going to be able to have people tell me, oh, he's takes morphine, or he's fucking stupid, right? He's an idiot, and not let it bother me, right? Because I know who I am. At the end of the day, I know who I am. I know what I do. I have my integrity, and that's all I need, right? So someone can sit there and belittle me, be condescending, accuse me of things, and as long as I know who I am and I'm comfortable with myself, that's not going to matter to me. And that, I guess, just kind of seems like an abstract idea to me, because I've never really been able to do that. I'm noticing that today it's easier to do that, right? If someone casts judgment upon me, then I can just kind of wave it off, like, whatever, you know, think what you will, but right, I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. I know my experiences, and there's just a million other things, because if someone's casting judgment on you, think about how small their perception is. Think about how small-minded they are, and who are they to know any better than you, right? Like, who are they? Like, why is their opinion any more substantial than your own or anyone else's? It's not. Right? That's the fucking crazy thing about it. You think about how small they are as a person. I mean, there's plenty of ways to think around it. It's just fucking, and filled with hate, or like, why sit there? I've never been like that. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, you're this way, so let me judge you, right? No, like, I just listen. I mean, if you're hurting someone or harming someone, then of course I'm gonna be like, well, what the fuck, dude? But that's typically not the case, right? So, I don't know, so I want to go through life like just doing whatever the fuck I want, right? I'm not gonna be hurting anyone, but just without the worry of outside perception, to a certain extent, because you still need to base yourself in reality and society, right? Which is a whole other story, right? Because today's society norm is a lot different than 100 years ago, right? Or 200 years ago, or 600 years ago, right? 600 years ago, what was that, fucking the 1400s? They were burning redheads because they thought they were witches, right? Is that the right fucking era? I don't know. They would kill you if you weren't a Christian. Is that when the Vikings were, dude? They would fucking go and rape and pillage villages, dude. They would fucking just do crazy shit, because that's how they thought that they needed to show their worth to their gods, was by taking over people and killing them and raping and doing crazy ass shit, right? So that just shows you, like, today what we think is normal, is it? Or is it just something that is it a community consciousness, right? We've come together, this is our normal right now, right? So right now it is our normal to wear Gucci or whatever the fuck it is, right, for you, wherever you live, right? Right now it is. But what's it gonna be in 100 years, right? So how seriously do we need to take that, is my question, right? It's just fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. I mean, even this, like, if you want to go spiritual side of it, your consciousness is actually experiencing your mental model of reality, not reality itself, right? So everything you view is distorted through your mental model, through your schematics, through the way you've experienced life and how it's kind of brought you to this point, right? It's not reality itself, it's your perception of it. And it's just, so if you can understand that, how distorted your reality might be, think about how distorted someone else's reality is as well. Whether it's good or bad, it's going to be distorted, right? It's going to be different. That's another reason. Like, how are you going to judge someone else if you haven't lived their life and experienced their experience? Like, if you're not them, you can't. You can't do it. And I think that goes along with every walk of life. How are you going to judge anyone if you haven't walked in their shoes? If you don't know them, right? You don't know what they've been through. You don't know their head. You don't know anything about it, right? But yeah, that's it.